Hello folks, welcome to the canal Channel Jose. Today we're going to give you an idea how we replace the fuel filter on this 98 Nissan Frontier. The fuel filter, they're not always inside the fuel tank or in the engine compartment. For example, on this Nissan, is located right underneath the passenger side, so we have to go underneath the truck to replace the fuel filter, and that's the reason we have it tilted. So we have lifted it from the passenger side so we can get more clearance to do this work, and that way we can expose more of the info that you guys want to see. So when you do the replacement, you already know where to look and how to do it. And another very important thing is that once you remove your fuel filter, the old one, don't want to turn the key or anything, because the fuel pump is going to pump fuel, and if you don't have a filter installed, all you're going to see is just fuel coming out of there, and it's going to be all over the ground. So you don't want to do that. Once you start taking this fuel filter off, don't turn the key anymore, because the fuel pump is going to do its job. It's going to try to send fuel. Another thing that we're going to be using for this job is going to be using a container to put it underneath, so when we take the old fuel filter, all the fuel, we can catch it on the container. And with that said, we're going to show you and give you an idea how to do this. We have lifted our truck and set it on jack stands, so then the fuel filter is going to be right on the bottom, right about this area of the passenger side, and we're going to show you by giving some clearance where it is located and how easy it is to replace. So let's go underneath. So we're looking towards the back of the truck. This is the outer, this is the frame right here, and this is the inner frame right here, and this is where the torsion bar goes from the passenger side. And right in there, that sheet metal with that 10mm nut, well, that's the fuel filter right there on the back. As you can see, is two clamps, the two inner and outer hose going in and coming out, and then the clamp with the 10mm right there. So we have to take those hoses off and then take that 10mm nut off, so we can take the clamp off, so we can remove the filter. And that's how simple it is. So let's replace it now. One thing you want to do is that you want to put the fuel filter in the direction of flow. They have the indication. You put it with the flow in and out, so that way you don't have any flow problems on fuel. And then also what we have done is we took the coming from the tank and we put it right into the filter right away, because it was siphoning itself. So we are going to put the bracket that holds the filter into the base, and then we're going to connect the other hose and tighten the clamps. So now what we're going to be doing is that this bracket or this clamp needs to come out of the old filter, so we can slide it into the new filter. So this is the bolt that was into the frame. So what we're going to be doing is now we have to loosen this other 10mm, take it, slide it, and then we can put this bracket into the new filter, and we can secure it towards the frame of the truck. So we need to transfer this into the new filter. So now what we have done is we have the new filter into the bracket. The bracket just it's still kind of loose in there. So we have slid the hoses into it. We have the clamps ready to go. So what we do is we gotta slide the hoses as much as we can closer to the filter so they grab on pretty good. We tighten in the clamps and then the bottom base, and that we should be done with the process. It's pretty simple. It's just having the part and the clearance to get underneath the truck. That's it. So now we have tightened the clamps, the structure of the clamp that hugs the filter to the frame. Everything's back on place. So now we have replaced the fuel filter on this Nissan Frontier. Pretty simple. This is the crap that came out of this filter, oxidation and plus all the particles that were probably obstructing the flow of fuel to the injector. So that way that could have been a problem on the engine, lack of power, or it could have been just not enough fuel getting to the injectors, and it could have been creating a problem. So now with a new filter, we got rid of this problem. So now we have replaced our fuel filter. So what we do now is we turn on the key, let the fuel pump kick in, pressurize all the system, and then we can turn on the truck and make sure that everything is back to normal. We verify that there's no leaks on the bottom, and if with that said, we just lower our truck and then put it back on the road. So we got our engine running on the truck, and then we come over here and there's no leaks in the ground, so that means that everything's back to normal. So with that said, we can lower our truck and we can put it back on the road. And well, folks, this was an idea how to replace a fuel filter on a 1998 Nissan Frontier. And then these components are very important to replace because these are the ones that get the fuel to be clean before it comes over to the engine, and that way your injectors can stay cleaner for longer. So if you never change the fuel filter on your truck or your car, it will be a good component to replace because that can increase the power or the performance on your car, because these guys are getting clogged and the fuel is not being delivered completely as it should into the engine. So replace the fuel filter as well, not just the air filter on the engine. So with that said, these filters, they're not always in the engine compartment. They might be in the bottom of the car or in the fuel tank. So investigate where your fuel filter it is, and that way you can start by replacing it and give your car a plus, bring it back to life. So with that said, folks, for friends who are watching our video haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. If you like our video, give us thumbs up, share it, and we'll see you soon with more videos here en el canal El Chano Jose.